Welcome back to the Tower Tech, guys. This episode is going to be all about my new sound setup. I've got the H5 handy recorder from Zoom, and from Audio Technica I've got the AT2035 microphone. These are significant steps forward in both in terms of quality and versatility, and much better than the shotgun mic that I have plugged into the 3.5mm jack on the side of my Canon 70D. You're going to get a unique perspective from my chair, what I see, and what I've added to with the audio. Roll the credits. So the audio that I've been using up until now has been by no means bad. It's been the shotgun microphone Video Mic Pro from Rode, which I've had attached to the side of my Canon 70D via a 3.5mm jack. A couple of challenges with this. The preamp into the Canon 70D is horrible, and to be fair to Canon, it is a camera, it's not an audio recorder. And I've also had it on a very long line, so I've had it on a little tripod just sat in front of me, sat on my Phantom 4 box indeed, on a very long 3.5mm line. Now the problem with that is that all of the interference and stuff from your mobile phone gets picked up, and it actually is quite audible in the tracks. Here's an example of that. So it's got a fantastic feature on it, which allows you to cut and edit video together. And the other issue that I had was because the preamp in the 70D is so poor, I had the gain on the microphone itself dialed right up to a plus 24 dB, which is fine in most circumstances, but what I found was that getting the sound levels of recording on the camera right was quite pernickety. There's no way of doing that other than getting up and actually adjusting the gain on the camera itself. And when I got to post and I was editing the videos, what I found was quite a bit of clipping. Now clipping is when the audible wave file actually exceeds a 0 dB threshold and effectively cuts off the top of that waveform. It sounds horrible, and I'm actually recording this both on my Canon 70D, and I'm also recording it on my new audio setup as well. So what I'm actually going to do is replay the clip that you're hearing now so that you can actually hear the difference between the two. This both on my Canon 70D, and I'm also recording it on my new audio setup as well. So what I'm actually going to do is replay the clip that you're hearing now so that you can actually hear the difference between the two. Now, given that most people listen to YouTube videos a little bit more than they actually watch them, I think improving my audio quality has been more important than improving my camera quality. And the 70D is quite an old camera now, but it does, I think, pretty solid HD video, so in no great rush to upgrade that. But the audio quality did need quite the refinement. So I've moved up from 3.5mm leads to XLR cables, and the beauty with an XLR cable is because it has two lines that it's carrying the audio across, basically out of phase with each other by 180 degrees, that when it actually overlays those two things back on top of each other, it actually filters out any interference that you've had from Wi-Fi signals and stuff like that. It's quite clever the way that it actually reconciles those two signals together. So that's going to be really helpful when I'm doing videos that I've got my phone there, when I'm looking at things like the Hue app, and I'm doing things like, you know, Pokemon Go and stuff like that, that might create and generate, and indeed have created, interference on the 3.5mm cable. So I'm going to give you a slightly unique perspective, because what I've done is got myself one of these tripods that effectively folds in half and comes out across here so that I can have the camera directly in front of me, the microphone directly in front of me, just a smidge out of the view of the camera. And I've also got myself one of these articulating magic arms with a clamp on it so that I can have the H5 handy recorder just off to my side there. That allows me to monitor my sound levels. I was finding that quite difficult on the 70D. You have got sound levels on there, and indeed I started this channel on a 600D, which had absolutely no way of displaying sound levels on there unless you were using Magic Lantern. The 70D does have audio meters on there, but they're actually quite far away as I sit here today, and I can just turn to my left, very quickly get a gauge. And there's a great feature on the H5 handy recorder that if you've actually clipped your audio at the right to the metering, there's a little dot that actually turns black so that you know that you're clipped. I'm actually looking at this audio recording now and I can see that I have not clipped. The other great feature about this is that you've got analog dials that you can twist up and down, which allows you to adjust the audio levels really easily, much more straightforward than the Canon 70D. By way as a product, the H5 handy recorder is well packaged. It comes with a pop filter for the microphones that sit on the top. It's got instruction manuals, got a USB lead, and it's got a very handy carrying case because this device is not cheap. I paid around £220 for it. The Audio Technica AT2035 comes in very simple packaging. You get the microphone, you get a nice leather carrying pouch, so if you're using this on the road on the go, and you also get, which I think is fantastic, a shock mount included in the price as well. So at £140 I paid for this. I think, given particularly what I paid for the Blue Yeti microphone shock mount, which I won't mention because that now feels painful, good all-round value for money. The H5 handy recorder will record at better than CD quality, both in terms of frequency response, but also it provides 24-bit recording over 16-bit recording for CD, which effectively means that you can define more granular levels of volume and better frequency response with a 48 kHz. So top quality uncompressed 24-bit audio in WAV or WAVE file format. You can actually use the H5 handy recorder as a mini mixing desk as well, so you can attach it via the included USB to your PC, which will allow you to convert XLR fed microphones into digital signals straight into your PC. So I'm still recording audio on the camera itself. This is what's known as a scratch track. That enables me to combine the recording from the H5 on Premiere Pro using a merge feature so that I overwrite the audio on the video clip. It uses the audio from the camera to sync the two files up, so no need for happy clapping or any of that sort of stuff. Premiere Pro does it all for you. And it's worth pointing out that none of the audio in this video has been treated in any way. It's got no compressors on it, no EQ filters, no amplification, etc. So this is the raw, unedited audio. The Audio Technica AT2035 is a cardioid microphone, which means that it predominantly picks up sound in front of it and not to the sides and the back, which is fantastic for this kind of situation. This room is not fantastic in terms of acoustics. There is a bit of echo, so it's good that the microphone is relatively directional. Now, it's not as directional as a shotgun microphone, but it's pretty good nonetheless. Clearly, the quality of the audio is going to be a component of how far away from the microphone you are. I'm a little bit further away from this than I would like, but still close enough to pick up really good high quality audio. So there we go, guys. There's a roundup of my improved audio setup. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments about the improved sound quality. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, then please do so. There's plenty of great content to come. And I'll see you in my next video.